Hi, my name is Adrian, and I absolutely hate people. I know you, as an act, you come on stage and ask people, "How are you? How do you feel today?" But I don't give a fuck about that, as you can see from that thing. I've noticed from the previous acts that this crowd is like a zombie crowd. George A. Romero died recently. He was the creator of the zombie movies. I see he still has some fans in the audience. Um, so one reason why I hate people is because most people nowadays just walk on stage, walk on the streets with the phones on, with their phones on. They just tap or click or I don't rub whatever the fuck they do with their phones on, and I just wish a bus would hit them. But one day I was going to the shop. I bought something from the shop. I left the shop. I took my phone out to write how much I paid on that thing because I'm organized like that. And it hit me. I am a hypocrite. How many people would say that they're a hypocrite? Tell me, how many people? What? A lot of people. I think you find the number would be zero. Like this. There is nothing going in that hole. There is absolutely nothing going in that hole because if nobody would say that they're a hypocrite. They are afraid to say that they're a hypocrite. I'll ask another question. How many people in the audience take a laxative? Zero. Nobody else wants to open that wormhole. I don't take laxatives, but I ate chocolate once in a while, and that chocolate feels exactly like a laxative, man. Every time I eat chocolate, for like half an hour later, I just want to see a toilet and give birth, because that's what happens when you eat too much chocolate. You give birth. And another thing that happens in toilets usually, I moved into a new place a couple of months ago, and I didn't know at the time, but my neighbors are bulimics. And if you don't know what bulimics are, they just must hate their food probably, and hate exercising, because I don't really understand why they just like to throw up in the toilet. So this motherfucker, usually between 7 and 9 in the morning, I'm just nicely sleeping, like here in the toilet, just like in a fucking alien movie. And I have such paper thin walls that I hear everything. It's like I'm next to him. I should just record the movie and record the sound and send it to Ridley Scott. It'll be better than the Prometheus movies, I'll tell you that for sure. Um, so yeah, like I said before, I don't give a fuck. These are my I don't give a fuck trousers. Those ones that give a fuck burned down in the Greenfield Tower. Is it too early for that? Don't worry. Theresa May was late. Um, so I'm from Romania, and probably after Brexit I'll move back to some other country, not England. And one thing that I noticed about when I came here is how shitty your food is. And that's, I wish I was joking, but that's absolutely serious. Every time I go into a store, I see only hummus and pastries and fucking thing that's like a charcoal but painted in white or pale or some other color to make it edible. And English people eat it a lot, that's why you have such black teeth. There's only, I don't know, that's the only reason why I see people have such black teeth. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. That's nice. You see, most comedians rehearse their material. I just go on stage with a couple of ideas. I have like 5 ideas. I forget 3 when I'm going up on the stage, and I usually say like 1.5. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time I say like 2 ideas. I forgot the other ones, which is awesome. So Brexit, how many people voted for Remain? Yeah, like 3 people, yeah. So the rest of you voted for Brexit. How's that working out for you now? Motherfuckers. So one thing that I notice about English people, and I'm saying English and not the UK, because we all know that Scotland hates your fucking guts. I mean, you have Theresa May. I wish I was Maggie Thatcher, but I will not be like Maggie Thatcher. I mean, she said that going through the wheat fields is a naughty thing. Fucking hell, really? I was 4 or 5 and I was going through the countryside through wheat fields and cornfields and kicking walnut trees and eating plums and I don't know, whatever the fuck. And she's saying that's a naughty thing. No wonder I grew up such a rebel, right? I mean, you have politicians like Michael Shove or Nigel Fartface or Boris, don't call me Trump, but I wish I had his money, Johnson. And so one of the things between English and Romanians is that you guys have CCTV. We don't really have CCTV. We use nans, you know, grandmas, older ladies, those that, yeah, we don't have the money for the scooter fucking thing that just, they look like they're Formula One drivers, retired. Yeah, we use grants whenever we want to report something because they don't have a life. They just go to the market at 8 in the morning. They come back at 7:30, maybe 9, and they just watch out the window every fucking day. That's their whole life. Well, they watch some soap operas in the evening, but that's it. That's their whole life. They just watch people on the streets. And they don't ring people either, they just shout it. Hey, have you seen that? He hit him! What? Let's call everybody. Let's call the cops. No, we're doing it internally. And that's how everything does. Internally. Nobody knows. Not even they know. But that's how it happens. You see people on the streets and then they sometimes vanish because, you know, grandmas just say, they're like the boogeyman. And just like the boogeyman, I'm going because the sign says YMCA, and this is my sign to you, mate. Thank you, you've been nice zombies.